Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Shakur Stevenson, embracing the Willian role for a career success. Boxing analyst Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson is intentionally adopting a Willian role to create artificial interests in his career. By fighting the media and the fans on social media, the Mayweather playbook. What the WBC lightweight champion Shakur lacks in entertainment value to create in his boring fights, which involve mainly defense and safety. First, Mayweather-esque style reincarnated, he makes up by excessively arrogant. Fans tune in to watch Shakur's fights. That said, Shakur arguably deserved a loss last year against Edwin De Los Santos. He was exposed in that fight, but being the A side helped him dodge the lot he would have taken if he was a regular fighter. We are talking about no one wants to see him. Yeah, this fighter has the highest ratings on ESPN out of any fighter, said Tim Bradley about Shakur Stevenson. We say nobody wants to see him, but everybody has their eyes on him for a fight on a regular non-pay-per-view event on ESPN. What Bradley isn't saying is whether those same fans would have tuned in if Shakur's fight last weekend against Artem Arutyunyan were on ESPN pay-per-view. Big no. People wouldn't have been willing to purchase Shakur's fight on pay-per-view. But that's a different story when it's on free TV on ESPN. They're fascinated with him and they want to see what everybody is talking about. Even in his next fight, people will watch him just to criticize, said Bradley about Shakur. If Gervonta Davis had been the one landing those shots, Shakur would not have been through the fight without getting knocked out. Arutyunyan was headhunting the entire fight, which made life easier for Shakur because it enabled him to stand in front of him and lean away to avoid his punches. If Artem Arutyunyan had the sense to target his body, he would have found him an easy target. A fighter like William Zepeda would be a nightmare for Shakur if he tried to fight him in a stationary manner, as he did against Artem Arutyunyan, because he would throw his body and stop him early like he did his last two opponents. I think this new way of Shakur lashing out and going at the media from celebrities on, he is trying to create a big role now, and he is trying to use it not only for fuel, but to get more eyeballs watching him. Mayweather didn't fight Pacquiao until he was on the wrong side of 30 and had recently lost to Juan Manuel Marquez and Bradley. Shakur can't do the same because he hasn't established himself as a pay-per-view attraction and he needs Gervonta Davis. He looks like the hero, like this has always been his plan to create the narrative just so people can fight him, and he will be able to pay good dividends if he pulls it off, said Bradley. If he beats a guy like Gervonta Davis, if Gervonta gets into the ring and fights him, that's a validation right there because everybody knows what Gervonta brings. If Shakur Stevenson beat Gervonta Davis, of course he would look like a hero, but that's not realistic, given his fighting style. The judges aren't going to give Shakur a decision using his 3-feet step-back style of fighting, and he can't stand in the pocket against Gervonta without getting exterminated quickly. Gervonta right now, if you put a poll up, he is the #1 guy at 35 pounds. According to the boxing world, according to the people, he is the #1. Shakur probably comes in second, so if he beats Gervonta, he is the man. So maybe this is a part of Shakur's plan, said Bradley. Tim Bradley likes Shakur Stevenson's chances against Gervonta Davis. Following Shakur Stevenson's unanimous decision win over the weekend, ESPN's Tim Bradley spent some time talking to media about how much he still supports Stevenson. Despite the performances we have seen from him lately, Bradley also spent some time talking about a potential matchup between Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. The only guy that I think can give Shakur a run for his money is Gervonta, Bradley said. The only guy, man. Cause his IQ is right there with him and he got that power, that one punch power to end the fight. If he catch him, Shakur bro. Shakur ain't never been hit, but if he catches him bro, it could be it. But Shakur is going to make sure that don't happen and that the concentration that he has He is going to have the concentration all night, and he is going to take limited chances. It's going to be a boring fight, but Shakur should be able to pick it off, and if Gervonta starts to rush in and starts to get ahead of himself, Shakur going to pick him apart. But again, Gervonta got that timing. He got every punch in arsenal. It's going to be a difficult fight for Shakur, but I still think Shakur can get him. But I don't care, his performance was not a performance tonight. It is what it is. He did what he had to do against this dude, made him look like a Rocky in my opinion. For market value, for entertainment value, of course you want him to stop him because that's what people likes to see. He couldn't have bought again. He missed the opportunity. It was a window right there. 6-7, he had it right there, and then he didn't turn it up. His grandfather was telling him, hey, turn it up, turn it up. But he got to start cutting out the ring a lot better. And he got to start putting combinations together. And Shakur is defensive-minded. He don't want to take no punches, Bradley said. Trainer Kenny Ellis comes clean on Gervonta Davis vs Shakur Stevenson fight. Soon after Gervonta Davis' speculator victory over Frank Martin on June 15th, it was revealed that Davis was in talks to fight Shakur. However, Davis' sole trainer coach Kenny Ellis revealed that Shakur Stevenson take his position, but there has been another development in this saga, which clears out a lot of doubts. He would be better off letting Stevenson and Davis fight first, since there would be a potential for him to win 2 world titles if he were to defeat the winner of this matchup. However, the early revelation might just have been a joke from Kenny Ellis. Even though it was just a joke, it would have given both boxers more opportunity if Davis vs Stevenson had happened. After taking on Davis, Stevenson, who had been waiting for a major battle for years, would finally get his comeuppance. It would have increased his marketability, which would have led to bigger paychecks and naturally an increased fan appeal. But the New York native is still optimistic about getting a Gervonta fight sometime in the future. He believes that eventually Gervonta Davis, as the WBA lightweight champ, will have to fight him for his WBC belt for unification, and he is just waiting for that day. Following his victory over Artem Maratunan this past weekend, Stevenson revealed his game plan for his future. Sugar outclassed Maratunan and won the bout via unanimous decision. Fans, however, still felt that the fight was duel and were quite let down by it. Apart from that, Stevenson was in a conversation where he claimed that his clash with Davis would turn out to be the biggest fight in the world. The 22-0 boxer stated, "If we're finally thinking about it, every hood in America is going to watch that fight. That's the biggest and the best fight to make in boxing. That's the game plan for me and the end goal. That's the fight that I'm going to kick the door down with. Honestly, that's the direction I want to go in." Well, Shakur believes that the fight with Gervonta is unavoidable, and what if that happens, it will be a massive showdown. What are your thoughts on it? Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.